What's up, everybody? I am Rick Knight. Welcome to another video of The Bad Philosopher. In this video, I would like to talk about what's going on with the nursing board in Australia. The nursing board decided it is a good idea for white nurses, when introducing themselves to their patient, a patient of color, to acknowledge their white privilege and tell the patient that because of their whiteness, they have privilege that that patient doesn't have because of their blackness or whatever the case may be. You heard that right. If you're not familiar with the case, this is not something I'm making up. I know it kind of sounds like it is, but you can simply go online. You can find all the articles and news media talking about it. It is a terrible idea. It is cringeworthy. I cannot believe that people would actually decide to do something like this. I don't know what they're thinking or what they're hoping to accomplish with something like this. I think it's going to further divide us by us having to acknowledge our whiteness, our privilege because of our whiteness. It's almost like saying that, look, I'm white, I'm better than you, you're black, you're less than me, and I just want to let you know that before I take your blood to check for a disease. It is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea because you're already starting off the conversation with a I'm here and you're here kind of mentality. That's what you're conveying to the patient. And I don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's going to help to bridge the gap between the different groups of people. We need to start off by acting and treating each other as human beings. That's it. It's as simple as that. Just treat each other as a human being. I will treat you with the respect I want you to treat me. And that's it. I don't have to acknowledge that I'm this or that because of my skin color. You don't have to acknowledge that you're this or that because of your skin color. Let's just wipe the slate clean and let's just treat each other with dignity and respect. But this is not what these cultural Marxist, far radical leftists want to do. They want to completely vilify their own kind. These are people who are self-loathing white liberals that hate white people. And I think it's dangerous. I think it's a dangerous idea. It's just a dangerous ideology that they hold, and it has to be criticized. It has to be criticized by as many people as we can. To pass a policy like that when it is not even accepted as any real truth of this white privilege nonsense that has been going around for a long time. This all comes from cultural Marxist professors. I cannot remember the name. I should have done my research on this one, who really spoke about white privilege. I believe it was back in like the 70s or 80s. It was a white woman who wrote about it and put it into whatever journals or whatever she wrote it in. And that's where the idea stemmed from after that. We talk about white privilege, and you know, it kind of makes me think of myself and all of the other people that I know. And I think of how my white privilege has done something amazing for me that it hasn't done for any other person of color. It allowed me to become a plumber. A plumber. That's where my white privilege has taken me to. I have to work. I don't have an option of not working. I have bills to pay. My landlord does not accept a white privilege note. I have to pay him with money. None of my bills, my college tuition, my child support payments, maintaining my phone that I'm filming this on, I have to pay. Feeding myself, paying for transportation, buying clothing, buying tools for work. Whatever I spend my money on, none of it is free. Nothing comes free because of my white privilege. I have to work and earn a living. Side by side with people from all over. I work for a company in New York City, where we are one of the most diverse cities, if not the most diverse cities in the world. And I have co-workers from all over the place, different skin colors, all sharing in this privilege together of being plumbers. So to implement a policy where nurses have to acknowledge their white privilege, I think is self-destructive. I think it's a terrible, terrible idea to add something, to have to put work and energy, whether it's physical or mental energy, into something that is not necessary to do. Like to go in there and explain to the patient that you have privilege that they don't based on your skin color is something that's not needed. It's a waste of that few seconds is a complete waste. It also makes you look weak. It makes us look weak as people, that we can't stand up straight and say, look, it is what it is. We're people just like everyone else. We're all people. We're all trying to live and we're all trying to survive. But no, not to the cultural Marxists. They want to tear themselves down. They want to tear us down. They want to change society. They want to change the way we interact with each other. They want to change all policies, all economic policies, social structures. They want to change everything and usher in this new wave, or I should say old wave. This is really all leading towards socialism, which completely sucks. I made a video about that earlier, about why I think socialism sucks. I only gave a few reasons. There's too many reasons. I didn't want to put it all in one video. And I think this is just another example of why Marxism sucks. There's absolutely no need for us to have to vilify ourselves to make anyone feel any better. No one feels better about this. And trust me when I tell you that most people of color, if you say this to them, if you go into the room and say, how you doing? I'm your nurse and I just want to acknowledge my white privilege, and I have privilege you don't based on my skin color. They are going to be embarrassed for you. They are going to be embarrassed for you. They're probably going to lose respect for you. They're probably going to think in their mind that you're very weak and that you need to stand up straight and you need to have courage. It's a very small, in my opinion, fringe group that would actually want you to really say that. I'm talking about people of color. I don't believe that most people of color would want to hear you say that. I think most of them would want to say, stand up and be proud of who you are. Be proud that you know, this is who you are. This is the way you were born. It's not anything any one of us can do about anything. We're all born however we're born, and that's pretty much it. When I think of these far radical, these leftists that are really out for the downfall of Western culture and Western society, and I just think, who else does this? No other nation does this, where they want their own kind to just fail and just be destroyed. No one, the Japanese don't do this. They take pride in being Japanese. They take pride in their culture and their heritage. The Africans take pride in their culture and their heritage and who they are. South Americans take pride in their culture and who they are. The Asians, all through the country, all through all through the world, people take pride in who they are and they want to continue their culture. Haitians want to continue their Haitian culture and their heritage and their history, and the Dominicans want to do the same thing. Puerto Ricans want to do the same thing. The Pacific Islanders want to do the same thing. Mexicans want to do the same thing. They want to preserve who they are, their culture, their language, their way of life. They want to keep going with who they are. Throughout the Middle East, all of the Islamic countries, the Iranians, the people from Lebanon, people from Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, all of these people, they want to preserve their culture, their heritage. They want to keep going with who they are. They don't want to destroy themselves. I know there's a lot of conflict going on in the world and in the Middle East, but the core of the people, I mean, I don't think any one of them want to bring the downfall of their ethnicity. They don't want to bring the downfall of their culture. They want to maintain it. Why do we have to want the downfall of our culture and our heritage and our ethnicity? But there's members in our society that does. They want us to fail. They want to destroy themselves. They want to end Western culture. They want to end whiteness. We all have a right to exist. All human beings have a right to exist. All human beings, in my opinion, should have the right of life, liberty, and property, should have the right to pursue happiness. We should have the right to safety. We should have the right to just exist and just try to find enjoyment and pleasure in life however we see fit. But to have to vilify ourselves, to satisfy the egotistical narcissist, or the narcissism of these cultural Marxists, is terrible, it's disgusting, it's weak. I, for one, would refuse to have to say something like that. I would never bow down to any of this. I will not say something, I will not be forced to say something that I don't want to say. I'm having a hard time agreeing to not saying something. And if they would expect me to have to say something, I'm not the one. It's not going to happen. I would rather go to prison. I'd rather lose my job. I would rather be sued. I would rather deal with the consequences for not complying with the cultural Marxist. And I hope everyone out there feels the same way. And I'll stand up for every single race of people on planet Earth. I will stand up for them and say that they absolutely should not have to say that. They absolutely should not have to vilify their own kind for any reason, for any reason. There's no reason a group of people, no matter who they are, needs to stand up and say, yeah, these are my people, this is what they do, and I hate them for it. They absolutely should not have to say that. So I hope you're on board with me. I hope we agree. I hope I got the message out to you that, you know, I place a certain moral standard on myself and would like everyone to have that equal moral standard. I would like all of us to be equal, to find a universal morality that we can all live by. I don't want to see one group of people on top of the other. I don't want to see one group having to admit that they have a privilege that the other don't. I don't want to see a group saying that you know, we are less than you. You know, I want to see all people stand up straight and have courage and be proud of who you are, and be proud that you know, you're another human like the rest of us, no matter what color you are. You absolutely have the right to exist. You absolutely have the right and should have the right to exist and to protect your culture and your heritage. So that's just my thought. Comment section, throw a comment, tell me how you feel. Subscribe, hit that bell button over there or there, I don't know where it is. Write something, I don't know. Maybe an insult, but please keep it funny. Like I always say, I love humor, so feel free to roast me as long as you're funny. It's anything goes. And tune in for the next video. Thank you very much.